Here today talking about this Goldshell AE-BOX. It's an Aleo miner that is definitely getting a bad rap, though it is profitable. It's making like 10 bucks over my residential electric rate, which is amazing. The reason it's getting a bad rap is because of all of the times that people have been burned on other projects with similar miners. So you're talking Caspa had the little at-home ASICs come out, and then Aleo, and then Radiant, and probably others I'm forgetting. Let me know the ones I'm forgetting down in the comment section. So these kind of like small first versions come out, but what happens is they're really good for a small amount of time, and then other ASICs come out that are way more efficient, do way more hash rate, and they just destroy them, making this just like a pile of unprofitable junk very quickly when you maybe spent, multiple thousands of dollars to get one because it was making so much money in the beginning. We've already seen these come down quite a bit in profit, but a lot of that also is tied to just the market as it stands today. And I'll tell you a couple things we're going to cover in this video. One is Aleo is an interesting project to me, more so than Caspa, Aleo, Radiant, many of the others. It's an interesting project to me, so I like it. I like it. There's a reason I parked my GPUs on it for a while, and there's a reason that I'm excited to have this miner. So we're going to go through that. I also want, we'll show you the performance and all that profitability on this thing, of course. But I also took a different approach than I've taken for a while because I've just been tired of getting burned on altcoins, even though I like this one. So as I've had this mining for maybe a few weeks now, I've taken a different approach to holding the coin versus cashing out the coin, and I'm going to show you how I've been tracking that. And we're actually going to do a little bit of that live as I just got a recent payout. So we'll get into Coinbase and do some selling there. I know, right? Crazy, crazy, crazy. So where should we start? One, I guess we should start with thanking Jingle Mining because they sent over this Goldshell AE-BOX Aleo miner. Even since I got it, it has dropped $300 in price. It was $1,700 when I got it, but now it's down to $1,400. And this is actually only the first version of this Goldshell AE-BOX. And there's others that have come out since. You have the Pro, which is doing 44 mega hash. And then this website, I love you guys, Jingle Mining, your website is awful. This is the AE-BOX 2, which is doing 54 mega hash for 530 watts. This one's doing 360 watts. You can probably see it on the meter right here. It's like pretty much parked on 360 watts. And doing the absolute advertised 37 mega hash. Let's take a look in the dashboard right now. So should do a little bit more of that average 39.56 mega hash. But one of the things with Aleo's ZK algorithm is that it fluctuates so much. You can see in this hash rate chart right here, fluctuates so much that it's hard to get an average hash rate on it because you need just several days. And I ran into all of that when I was testing with my GPUs. So talking more about this miner, this is the Goldshell AE-BOX 37 mega hash. Current profitability with a 16-cent kilowatt hour residential electric rate. It's making profit per day. It's doing $8.69 according to miningnow.com. But I have it also in what to mine, and it's showing me, this is, I do custom ASICs in here sometimes, showing it's making $9.30 in profit. So I guess the first thing we should take a look at is how does that compare to GPUs, and then we'll go into a little bit more about why I think Aleo is an interesting project. So let's just take this into account, 37 mega hash, okay? For this at 360 watts. Look at what a 4090, the most powerful, the 50 series probably do better, but at least for before that, the most powerful mining GPU, I think, for mining Aleo. These are my custom overclocks and performance. Aleo's way down on the charts now. It was doing 1.72 mega hash at the same wattage, actually 360 watts, same wattage, 1.72 mega hash versus 37. So just proves the point that this thing just completely takes GPUs out of the equation. In fact, once I got it, I turned off any of the GPUs that were currently mining it. I think this is really interesting. So we're going to go take a look at the GPU address that I had, which mined a total of 1,054 Aleo. In what amount of time? Let's go take a look. So we're going to go to payouts, 1,054, and it's been doing that 14 pages worth since 5 months. 5 months. It took me 5 months on just like a various mining rigs, from all my 40 series cards to a 3060 Ti rig was parked on that for a while, 6 of those. 3070s were on it for a while, but 5 months to get 1,054 Aleo. Okay, let's go take a look at this miner, which right now is at 700 Aleo. So it's almost there. It's 350 Aleo away. And to get that 700 Aleo, let's go to payouts. It took 13 days. 13 days. 2 weeks, we'll say, to get to 700 versus 5 months to get to a little over 1,000. So hopefully I am just driving that point home with how much more efficient ASICs made to just mine a single coin are than GPUs. And this is the least efficient ASIC right now. The Ice River one is going to destroy it. So super interesting to see what happens from here. So talking about interesting, I do want to pause here and talk about Aleo for a second, because I did a lot of research on this project. I'm not really sure why. Maybe like the universe just spoke to me and I decided to learn a little bit more about it than I have with a lot of projects, and I actually came away pretty impressed with what it's trying to do, because things that are interesting about it. Number one, they're doing zero knowledge proofs, which are just a fascinating concept that I had no idea about, that I learned quite a bit about. Highly recommend that you do the same. But essentially what Aleo is trying to do in layer 1, so just by default on its mainnet, is a lot of things that separate cryptocurrencies have done before. So you got Bitcoin, right, decentralization. So they have that, obviously, because they have blockchain in their cryptocurrency. And they have scalability, a la like Ethereum, where you have smart contracts enabled in a programming language. So they have that. That's cool, but that's kind of like Ethereum. But additionally, what they have is privacy. So maybe like coins like Monero and Zcash had privacy, but they didn't have smart contracts and scalability. But Ethereum has smart contracts and scalability, but it doesn't have privacy. And there's things being solved for in Ethereum to do that, but that's outside the scope of this video. But Aleo is like, we're gonna just do all that stuff at once, because like, if you're like a business to business doing a smart contract, you don't necessarily want all of that out for every other business and competitor to see. So we're going to do that, but we're going to keep it all private, and we're going to do it through zero knowledge proofs, which is the ability to prove that something is true without revealing the secret to how you know that's true. So super fascinating. But anyway, interesting things about Aleo that I'm also curious about is, number one, they were on Coinbase, right, either day one or right around mainnet launch. That doesn't happen. So that's interesting. The other thing I'm interested in is they have staking, 10,000 Aleo, and you can do native staking. You don't have to do liquid staking. You can do native staking with 10,000 Aleo, which, if you've been around the channel, I love staking, getting more passive income from the cryptocurrency that I already have. So that's interesting to me. So that's maybe a goal that I want to be able to achieve. But like, those things are interesting. So. And then Bitmain, oh yeah, big one. Bitmain, before the project launched, like 2 years before it launched, I covered this before, Bitmain announced support for ASICs for Aleo. And the project wasn't even on mainnet yet. Big boy Bitmain, putting all of their money behind this project. So I'm sure those ASICs will be coming. You got Goldshell first, Ice River first. But like, all those things are interesting. So it makes me pay attention, because that's more interesting than some other projects that are out there. I think a lot of people, I'm gonna go on a little bit of a rant here. I think a lot of people got so burned on all the different versions of these ASICs before, kicking off GPUs, get these kind of at-home ASICs, and those get kicked off for the better ASICs, and then the big boys take over, and there's nothing left but scraps for us at-home miners. And I think a lot of people get burned around that, and they put this project in that same bucket. And I get that if you're only looking at it from that like monetary short-term sense, but in long term, Who knows? Maybe this goes somewhere. I don't know. It's interesting. The price has been interesting in a bad way as it went from $6 down to 25 cents. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. End rant. Okay, next thing we should take a look at is I've been treating this a little different than I have in the past. So we're going to go over here. Here it is, AE-BOX. So these are the 4 payouts that I've gotten so far, and we're going to add the next one here in a second. We're going to sell some of it on Coinbase because what I've decided to do, we'll take this first example. So I got paid out March 11th, so that's almost 2 weeks ago, 147.59 Aleo. I've been deciding to sell half of it and then hold half of it, roughly, okay? So I'm selling it right into USDC on Coinbase. And then what I'm tracking is what that sold, when I sell it to USDC, it's like locked in, like that's the price it's gonna be. So I sold $71 worth so far. That price is not gonna change, it's pegged to the US dollar. I've also held some Aleo just to see. I've sold the other half, and that right now, we actually got to go see what the current Aleo price is, 26 cents. So right now, we're still at 26 cents. That Aleo is worth $69.68. So all this is where I'm at before we get this new payout in. So let's do that. Let's go sell some on Coinbase. We got to figure this out. I'm going to do this live in this video right now. So we're going to add a row, and this is going to be 324.25 is what I'm making this video. And we got paid out. Let's go take a look. We just got paid out this amount in Aleo. So let's throw that in. And then what I'm going to do is sell half of that, which is 120. So I'm going to sell, we'll just say 60. I'm going to sell 60 Aleo. So let's go over and actually make that happen. I'm going to go to Coinbase Advanced. And we got Aleo USD ready to go. I'm going to go to sell. I'm going to choose 60. And then I want to make sure this goes into USDC when I sell it. And we're just going to do a market sell here at its current price. Let's go ahead and sell that. There it is. It's sold. Order is filled. And what that allows me to take home is where we got it, is $15.47. So let's go ahead and get that in here. And then what do we got to do to fix this? That is, D6 times K2, I think. Yeah, okay. So check it out. And this should all have now updated. So that is my newest sell. So now I have $86.84 in USDC from this mining, and my Aleo that I've held is currently worth $85.39. So in total, if we go down here, in total, it is currently worth $172.33. If held, it would be worth $170.15. So that was, if I didn't sell anything and it was all just in Aleo still, it'd be worth $170.15, meaning that I've actually, because of the strategy I've taken to sell half, hold half, I've gained, I'm doing $2.08 better than if I just held it all. So we'll see. We'll see what happens in the long run here. And then just tracking break even here, miner cost $1,700. And then the total revenue that I have right now, the cost to run it, which is 360 watts per day at 16 cents per kilowatt hour for me until my solar is online, bringing me $17.94, meaning my net revenue is $154.29, meaning that I am 9 cents to break even right now on this Aleo miner if I spent $1,700 to get it. So that's it. That's this video. Where this all goes from here, I have no idea. Actually, I probably do. As new miners come out, as that ICE server comes out, this will make less and less money unless the market drastically turns around and the price of Aleo starts to go up dramatically. I don't know what's going to happen in the long term when more and more ASICs come online, what that's going to do to the price, if it's going to continue to just destroy the price, or because now there's so much more competition online and less piece of the pie to be handed out to all of the miners, the price will go up because it's going to be harder to get Aleo as time goes on, which is why I'm glad that I got it now. And so that's where I'm at. I'm hoping to do some staking in the future, but I'm going to continue on this experiment of holding half and selling half just to hedge my bets and my risk a little bit with this miner. But I would love to know your thoughts on all of this down in the comment section below. Did you get one of these? Are these interesting to you? Is Aleo an interesting project? Have you gotten burned on these little type of at-home ASICs before? Let me know down in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this video and you're looking to get started with maybe some other at-home ASICs, I'll leave a couple linked on the screen right here, some videos I've done. They're really easy, plug and play. Just take a look to see if they make money over your residential electric grid, or if you want to use them for heat, to heat your home and make some cryptocurrency on the side. And as always, please take care of yourself and each other, and I'll see you in the next video.